Back on the record this morning with Patrick Tutwiler. The new state council is coming up with recommendations for new statewide standards for high school graduation, and it comes as voters put an end to using MCAS scores as a graduation requirement. At last check, the council was hearing from parents, teachers, students, and others about what should be included in a new standard. So do you have an update? Where are we? Where do we sit? Where does this leave Massachusetts schools?
First, let's do a historical. I sat in this seat about a year ago and argued emphatically for the preservation of the MCAS. You remember that, okay. Yeah. Voters spoke, and we listened, and we respect the outcome of that election. I think some prominent person once said that the optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. And so we're seeing this current context as an opportunity to define what it means to earn a diploma in Massachusetts, what we want all graduates to know and be able to do. Governor Healy signed an executive order in January that established the council that you just talked about, and really exciting work. We've spent time crisscrossing the state, talking with teachers, with students, with community members about what do they think? What should a student know and be able to do? That work continues in earnest. We also
do you have a deadline? Is there a goal for that work?
Yeah, so by the end of the calendar year, we're going to provide a preliminary set of recommendations, but by this fall, we intend to announce the preliminary vision of a graduate, what it is we expect all graduates to know and be able to do, and then we'll continue to do the work to backfill. So what experiences, what coursework must all students complete, and then how do they show mastery? How do they show that they've actually met that bar?
And it's important to mention, kids are still taking the MCAS. It just doesn't count toward their high school graduation requirement.
That is correct. Except in a handful of communities that have elected to continue to use the MCAS as a graduation requirement.
All right. Massachusetts students, they do appear to continue to be struggling to rebound from the pandemic, especially when it comes to literacy. 40% of the state's fourth graders scored at or above proficient in reading last year. Only about 20% of Black and Latino students from low-income households scored proficient. So what is the state doing about it?
A lot. First, I want to frame this from the standpoint of understanding that education does not begin in kindergarten, it begins at birth. And so our strategy to address long-standing literacy challenges, this goes back more than 10 years, is to first expand and create opportunities for early education. Over the past 2 years, we've done so, adding about 17,000 new seats to early education for individuals across the Commonwealth. We are also working to, as the governor has clearly indicated, she wants to see pre-K be universal in Massachusetts for 4-year-olds. We've made a concerted effort to push toward that direction by first providing universal pre-K in gateway communities. We've got 17 of the 26, and we're moving forward there. So early education is a big piece of our literacy effort. The other is to transform evidence-based early literacy strategies in the K-3 space. And that is part of the governor's Literacy Launch Initiative, which has a few big buckets. One is to broadly train teachers in the evidence-based strategies. I sat with 300 teachers on Monday of last week who are beginning this training endeavor. Two is to support districts with purchasing high-quality instructional materials and develop the systems and structures to make that stuff come alive. And then we also want to make sure that teachers are trained in the evidence-based strategies and teacher preparation programs. Finally, I would say super excited about this. In 272 elementary schools this fall, we'll be launching a high dosage tutoring effort. This has shown incredible returns. This is a $25 million effort. Thank you to our friends in the legislature. This is going to impact 10,000 first graders in the first year. So you asked what we're doing around early literacy. We're doing a lot, and there's a strategy that's going to have short-term impact, the high-dosage tutoring, and long-term impact in terms of building the systems and structures to make it come alive.
A new policy approved by DESE will put into effect a weighted lottery system for students to get into vocational schools. And these schools have more applicants than available seats. Governor Healy says it increases access for 8th graders who want a vocational technical education. Is this really the best system? And what more, if anything, needs to be done?
Well, this topic is often framed as a contentious one, but there's an element of it that's not contentious, and that's where we have broad agreement, which is there's not enough seats. You just said it.
Right.
There's wait lists everywhere. Governor Healy proposed a $100 million proposal to expand capacity in the career tech ed schools in Massachusetts. 3,000 new seats over the next 3 years. That made it through successfully with the legislature. So we're going to fix the problem first by expanding capacity. But then we have to think about, in the intervening time, what's a fair way to allow students access to the seats that are there. We believe deeply that we shouldn't create barriers for 11 and 12-year-olds based on a mistake they made, based on challenges around attendance. Everybody should have access to that next step. That's what the lottery does. There are pieces of the lottery that wherein students can earn extra weight if they do meet an attendance criterion, if they do meet a discipline criterion, but everybody has a shot. And that's what the board agreed unanimously to support this, and we're moving forward with that this fall.
Patrick, it's great to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for
Thanks
having
for being
me.
here.
Thank you.
Boston's race for mayor heating up, and President Trump calls out a Massachusetts senator. Our political roundtable is next.